right. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a great afternoon. Peter, it's been an eventful, busy day for us, man. Huh?
That it has, and it's only getting started. We have a very busy after hours session. Probably, actually, this is probably the busiest of the year
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
and we'll talk about that. We got a big lineup of things that are reporting after the close, and they've all sort of been in the news in one way or the other in the last week, so or last day even. So it's yeah, I think it's pretty eventful. It's funny. I was dancing to the music and I was thinking, I think I've got maybe a performance problem now where if I was ever to go live on YouTube and that music didn't play, I
Yeah.
don't think I'd be able to talk live.
Yeah.
That's like my signal to it's game time, baby.
It's
Like I just don't think
what?
I'd be able to do it. So it's like
What?
singing the national anthem before a game or something, right? I just, you know, just can't get going.
Absolutely. We also got our good man Jared with us today as well. Good afternoon, Jared. He's gonna be hanging out with us as we do these earnings. And man, so much to cover. So we're gonna kick it right in. But Jared, how's your day been so far? I'm sure busy with all the numbers and everything going on today.
Yeah, definitely busy. Morning trade was a little sketchy. I think a lot of traders had some trouble with certain setups, but I would say the FOMC trading was decent, and we're here for some earnings after hours numbers. So I'm definitely interested to see how these stocks perform.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Same here. This is where the fun should be. We didn't get much from the press conference from Mr. Powell, but we sure are going to get the action right now on these three tickers, and IBM is also on there. All right, Peter, where do we start? Let's start with Meta. Let's start there. So, uh,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I was going to give the rundown actually. Maybe let's make sure people know what we're talking about. So you're right. We could talk meta. Let's get into that. But let me first make sure we all understand what we're talking about here tonight. So we've got Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. Happens to be in alphabetical order there. Anyways, all of those report at 4:05 p.m. Those would be the big three. Now, that's the first tier. I would say on our second tier of reporting, though, we've got IBM, ServiceNow, Western Digital, and I sometimes watch Las Vegas Sands. They're also all reporting. So, like we've just got, there's so much reporting, but obviously the top three are those ones we mentioned in Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. Those are the big three we're watching. But the rest of them are, sometimes move, are part of the conversation. Do they always report? Maybe Jared, you remember better than I do. It doesn't seem to me they all report on the same day normally, but maybe I just forgotten.
Normally, we have two to three of the larger tech names, and then
Hmm.
the other two that haven't reported on the next day. It's usually a
Right.
very busy week, and then there's Wednesday and Thursday are the heavy hitters
Right.
of that period.
Yeah. Agreed. So, anyways, okay. Well, today's the busy one, anyways, with three of them. So, Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. So, let's go back to Meta, as Carlos suggested. Meta's up first, or at least, again, they're all coming out at the same time. So, first thing I will say is, make sure you pick your poison, right? If you're going to try and trade one, or if you want to watch one, don't do the chasing butterflies in the open field, right? Where you'll chase them all and catch none. Focus in on one because these are probably all going to move fast and they may or may not go in the same direction because they're going to each have their independent earnings and the story is slightly different on each one of them. So Meta's been in the news recently, of course, as one of the AI service providers. They've also, some of their brands, I guess, their social media brands have been affected adversely or positively by the TikTok ban. When it's off, it's on again, right? Meta's been in that conversation. Interestingly, Meta as a stock has actually been doing fairly well into this earnings season over the last few days. We've certainly seen it go up this week. At the end of last week, it was going up. Like we're riding here at all-time highs. And today, I think we even set a new all-time high, didn't we? Yeah. So
yeah, we did.
like Yeah, like I mean, so Meta, it surprises me how well Meta's doing. Now, from an earnings point of view, here's the key numbers you need to look for. The expectation from analysts in general is that they're going to be delivering about $47 billion in revenue. Specifically, they've hashed it out. Basically, what they do is they take an average of all the analysts' estimates, which means, of course, that number is going to be slightly different depending on which analysts they're including in the average, right? But the one number I'm looking at right now says it's 46.98 billion, which let's round it to 47 billion, close enough. What's $20 million amongst friends, right? And then the expectation is that they'll deliver about $6.68 per share in terms of bottom line earnings. So if they hit or exceed those healthy numbers, I think we're going to see Meta sort of react very positively. Now, there's lots of headwinds on this thing, right? Because I think there's a fair amount of uncertainty around Meta in terms of what's going to happen with it competitively within the market. That being said, I am still very surprised that it's been moving up. Although Jared, I'm sure he's laughing at me over there because I always seem to be surprised when things go up. So, and he's not wrong.
Mhm.
I am the perma bull. I just can't believe things are going up. They should be going down. Anyways, but Meta's sitting at all-time highs, which does make it tough. Jared will give you some detail about what we could expect the move to look like and how that should go. But from my point of view, again, we're coming off a couple of positive days, which means that earnings are going to be pretty. People are going to be watching it very closely, especially any forward-looking guidance they give, not only in numbers but in terms of direction. Because the last thing we heard out of them from an investment direction was that they're investing as part of the group around $500 billion in AI and data center infrastructure. And if you remember last week, Meta, was it Carlos? It was about like I can't remember. They compared the size of the
The
data
size
center
of
that Meta
Manhattan.
was looking to build to
Yeah,
downtown Manhattan. Yeah.
yeah, some weird numbers like that. But
So,
but yeah,
yeah.
let's see what Jared, what you have on this as far as expected moves. I mean, that's what people love to hear when these numbers come out. What are we expecting to see?
Yeah, so for Meta, and just to kind of recap what the expected move is, what we're looking for is an idea of how volatile the stock is going to be based on the option market and how they're pricing the risk that's coming into really just the earnings reaction itself. So for Meta, as I shift over into the options chain, there's this number right here off to my right-hand side, and it's really just the implied volatility expressed as a number, plus or minus, and we're looking for that number to be sort of the relative range of risk, whether it be higher or lower. Meta, as you can see, is pricing plus or minus $50 dollars per share, which for this particular stock, the stock being about 675 a share, would be about up or down 8%. And like always, we want to use that number to kind of figure out what some price targets might be, assuming that we hit those boundaries. So if we are looking at Meta moving to the upside and giving Peter more heartburn, then we're assuming, of course, a move 50 points higher would be about 725. And that's because Meta, at this moment, looking to be probably closing around 675 on the session. Not a lot of, I would say breakout momentum quite yet, even though we've been moving up. To the downside, we would do the exact same thing, and we would move down 50 points from the current price, and that would put us back at 625, which ironically is where the recent breakouts have been. So no matter how we kind of look at this, Meta's got this sort of extended breakout position. Some of the, I would say the last round of buyers have been moving the price up. So net, if they want to continue that move, they'd be expanding to about 725 on earnings. And if they come down kind of violently, we're looking at 625. The option market is pricing most of that risk to the upside as far as where more buying or positioning happens to be at this moment. Obviously, 700 is really well, uh, I would say like high OI, high volume, but the 725 is more the implied move, and then obviously 625 as well. But some players at 600 and 650, just the key prices that we often see on these types of stocks. So that's Meta in a nutshell, and that's what we're looking for expected move. Nice $50.
This stock can move, man. I love watching the earnings. I don't trade the earnings; it's too wild for me. But this stock can move pretty aggressively, so we'll look forward to that. Peter, let's go to our next one here, which is going to be Microsoft. So let's talk a little bit about Microsoft and what's going on there, and some of the AI noise that maybe we might be seeing the last couple of days.
Yeah, so likewise, Microsoft in the news, also another big player in the AI space. In fact, just a few minutes earlier when we were doing the Fed chair announcement, I accidentally clicked on the Copilot button at the bottom of my Windows screen, and my whole computer froze as for the very first time this thing opened up and then started asking me questions. What would you like to ask me today? I'm like, nothing. Go away. Anyways, so yes, AI, it's everywhere. We can't escape it. But Microsoft further has been in the news because they have publicly challenged the claims made by this new tool, right? This DeepSeek AI that claims that they can deliver AI answers, AI compute at about 5% the costs that have been previously experienced. So 5% the development costs, about 5% roughly of the compute power. And Microsoft's calling a little BS on that. So they're saying we don't think that's the case. And I haven't seen substantiated numbers on either side, and probably wouldn't understand it if I did. So I'm going to have to wait for them to duke it out and then figure out what the media reports in terms of what the actual results are. But one way or the other, it does feel like a pretty lofty claim to come in. Like, be one, like, it's almost like it's too good to be true. Like if it was half the cost, that would feel more plausible. 5% of the cost seems a little
Yes,
incredible. But
sketchy,
hey, look, it
sketchy.
could be. Like, I can't say that it's not. But anyways, Microsoft's on the front end of that argument. But what we're focused on is their earnings. Again, forward-looking statements are going to be important for Microsoft here, I think, as we get the earnings, because the earnings are probably Microsoft's usually very cautious on earnings. They're usually pretty accurate. Their numbers, expected revenue is 68.75 billion. Again, analyst consensus for the quarter, and $3.11 in earnings per share. So those are the numbers that we're looking for in Microsoft. It has not been as glorious of a move, I suppose, as Meta has experienced over the last few days. It had a sort of big pull down on the Monday with the news of this cheap AI, but it's actually made a pretty good recovery. If you look at that daily chart, look at those big green candles moving it right back up to where it finished the week last week. So we're sitting in a good position for once again, as Jared will talk to you about what the expected move is. It feels like it could very well get that expected move all the way top to bottom. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Off to me. Perfect. So
yeah, over to you. That was not smooth
just,
transition.
So for Microsoft, as Peter mentioned, we're kind of seeing the ramifications of the DeepSeek, I would say, reveal on Monday, and certain stocks, of course, recovered, certain stocks not so much. But as Microsoft is entering into its earnings, we kind of shift back into more of a quantitative mode. And Microsoft is kind of an interesting one because they're pricing about plus or minus $20. I have that over here on my left-hand side in this little scratch pad. That's only 5%, for a stock of Microsoft's ticker price, $445-ish a share. $20 up or down isn't really a lot of volatility, but as far as range is concerned, that would put Microsoft into some interesting levels. I've gone ahead and marked the upper and lower expected move boundary, and you'll notice that the upper boundary puts Microsoft right back to all-time high. So if we are talking about a bullish reaction, Microsoft is in range to basically clear its all-time high, and that's something that was established and set back in July of last year. To the downside, the move lower would actually be kind of an interesting level because it would put Microsoft back to flat on the year. And all of the buying that we've been seeing has been in relation to where we opened this year. So if Microsoft were to move 5% lower, theoretically, all of the performance that we've seen from Microsoft would be erased, as far as the year-to-date performance. Um, One last note, and it was something that I wanted to mention on Meta as well. It's always good to kind of look back at a couple of earnings and look how your stock moves, because with Meta, the plus or minus 50 is very much a conservative estimate. Meta is actually one of the more well-known stocks that breaches the expected move. So they might price it 50, we might get 75 or 100, if it really wants to be cooking. Microsoft tends to be in line. As far as the reactions are concerned, I was looking back at most of the earnings day close and then following day open. Most of those are anywhere between 3 to 5%. So there are some gaps around where the previous earnings are, and probably the worst one was the one we had last period, where we actually gapped down about 4%, but most of the selling took place on the day, as opposed to just the gap being sort of a high to low difference. So I would offer that Microsoft should fit into this sort of expected move paradigm that we're trying to use, but it's also true that this is the first real showcase of some of the aspects of what Peter had discussed. And net, if they aren't making a new high from last July, it would be kind of an impact to whether or not this is still growing, relative to some of the old prices that we saw last year. So general thoughts there, but it's something to consider with Meta as well, just kind of looking back.
Yeah, and then Microsoft and Meta, both interesting, but Microsoft is really the AI play here today, right? And I'm sure investors haven't really had a chance to digest all the deep sea stuff, and that's probably not going to be included in any of the conversations today, maybe not as in much detail, because they don't know how true this is, how deep this thing goes. But if you look at, there's two different companies, right? Meta is the one that is it's going to benefit no matter what from AI. If it can do it at a cheaper cost, they're still going to benefit. But companies like Microsoft and companies like NVIDIA who actually provide the product, that's not good for these guys, right? So they can get hurt. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we're going to see in the next couple of days here as that continues to happen here. Peter, let's go to the next big one, which is going to be Tesla, right? Another one reporting today. What's going on with that one? And that one's been very difficult to day trade for sure. So let's take a look what's happening there.
Yeah, and I'm just into my signature 1 to 10 trade right now. Well, at least I'm watching for it. Nothing's moving, but I'm not surprised after the day we had with a Fed announcement. You don't often get the type of settlement activity that you would get on other days. So, in any event, let's talk Tesla. Tesla's a slightly different story. I feel like the talk on Tesla right now is going to be more about what's Elon doing next. Obviously, he's started his moonlighting job with the government. Where he's sweeping the floors over at the government, trying to get rid of all the garbage that he perceives in the hallways. And already we've started to hear a couple of small announcements out of DOGE, this Department of Government Efficiency, in terms of where they thought that there was some areas for opportunity. In fact, at the press conference with Powell, one of the reported questions, or one of the reporters asked a question of Powell where apparently Elon said, there's a huge inefficiency in the Fed, which frankly he's probably not wrong, right? I mean, how many Fed different offices are there? And they basically, I mean, it made sense when it was regional. Now that it's national, of course, I'm coming from a country where we only have one national bank, and until recently they literally only had one office. But in any event, probably not wrong on that front. But there is not a bureaucracy on the planet that doesn't have inefficiency involved in it. Really, what the question for me is, as it relates back to Tesla, are people going to care, right? Is the stock going to react based on Elon's nocturnal activities, his sideline jobs, or is it really just going to worry about how Tesla as an organization is performing? Tough to tell because Tesla as a company has often reacted when Elon's been tweeting about things or talking about his opinions on social media, as he's been wont to do, which remarkably he's been very quiet about, or at least relatively quiet recently. Now that being said, there are not it's just earnings, right? Usually Tesla has a very good reaction when they announce delivery numbers and production numbers. Those come out at the beginning or end of each quarter. We already had those for the last quarter, right? So those came out. So really, what we're just going to hear is sort of the financial results for Tesla. And I think Tesla's going to be in line, but it's hard to say. So those numbers. So when you see the actuals, you know what to compare them against. Again, analyst expectations right now are sitting at 27.6 billion revenue on Tesla and earnings of about 75 cents a share. So again, that's the consensus view as to what they're going to earn, depending how those numbers come out. And as always, most importantly, what their forecast is going to be is probably what the Tesla price change is going to hinge on, and will this actually hit its expected range value or not? I mean, Tesla, unlike these AI related stocks, Tesla's had a much calmer last few days, right? If we look at the daily chart, you can see it's sort of been in this range, relatively tight range, for a while. In fact, it looked like it was going to be breaking out right at the end of December. Instead, it sort of came down at the end of the year and it settled into this. I don't know, probably $60 range here between 380 and 440 is the way I would read it. Which, by the way, $60 range on Tesla is pretty mild. It sounds like a lot, but Tesla's one that, as we know in the past, it can move $60 in a day when it really gets going. So we'll see. I mean, this expected move gives it, I think, a good chance to potentially break out of that range, and we may get some directional movement as a result. So, Jared, how big does that look?
Well, thank you, Peter. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Yeah,
I
so
tried for a smoother transition this time.
it felt good that time. So Tesla does have the potential to break that trading range that we've currently found ourselves in. The expected move is right around 10%, and they've kind of been adjusting it a little bit today, maybe like $1 or $2 higher or lower. Net, whatever Tesla's closing price is, the expected move is basically 1/10 of that. So for now, given that it's sitting around 390, and if I double check the option chain, it's showing about 37. I wrote down about 38. So we'll just assume somewhere in the 37 to 40 range. Similar to the other stocks, given where we close on Tesla, the upper expected move would put us right into that, I would say, local swing high, where we tried to break out and then saw a little bit of selling against it. And then a move to the downside would be closer to 350. And what's kind of interesting about 350, I believe, is this is in reference to the previous earnings where we had not only key breakouts of multi-month, multi-year sort of levels, but more importantly, that's where they started to reaccumulate the stock, just based on some price patterns that we can observe. So if Tesla were to drop back to 350, it'd be interesting to see the reaction there. And that would obviously be, a quick shot to the downside. But if we're continuing to move up, then we're essentially establishing a higher support. And that's something that is obviously what the bulls want to see as far as technicals are concerned, because we are trading at the old all-time highs. And it's relatively difficult to encourage the market to buy a price that was once such a historical resistance point. So right now, Tesla's kind of skirting the lines on both of those. With a $38 expected move, and the fact that Tesla tends to move sort of in 2 to 3 waves of price, usually the earnings release, the conference call, and then the following day has a lot of follow through. So I would say piecing together the move, the first 2 parts of that move should be about $38, and then tomorrow we'll be picking up the pieces, whatever that looks like for us as intraday traders. So hopefully we can get some volatility on that one. And 10% isn't too bad. I think a lot of people are maybe looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, man. We got our good buddy Brian. Thanks, Jared, for all that information. Jared's giving us some great insights here on how we're going to be moving shortly. Again, 3 minutes to the market close, and then from that we should be seeing some numbers trickling in. Brian, welcome to the party, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, good. Yeah, all good here. It's been pretty seesaw day. If you look at the Qs and the SPY, man, it's just been up and down, up and down. I could draw an analogy, but I'm not going to. So it's it's been really choppy and
Yep.
a lot of false breakouts or a few false breakouts, a few false breakdowns, and yeah, some of these stocks, Meta's going and Google look like they're going to go out very close to where we opened the day.
Yeah, I think one of the things we're going to
So
see here too is it's been
it'll
everybody's waiting for this, right?
it'll be
What's next here? What's going to drive the markets? We've been flat and choppy for the last couple of days, so this could be good. Get this out the way and let's get back to normal trading, which is what we want to see here. So this could be fun for us.
yeah. So Amazon again, another stock that's going out very close to previous day close. So yeah, so the Fed rate hike or rate decision was kind of a nothing burger, and Powell stayed
Yep.
Stayed non-political and pretty much stayed inside the lines in terms of their messaging, which isn't surprising. Well, the only thing that's really surprising today is this move on Apple. Just managed to go red to green. Red started out with that downgrade. So anyway, we've got all three of these stocks reporting at the same time, so it's going to be a bit of a dog's breakfast here in terms of what you want to follow. So Microsoft selling off a little bit into the close here.
Yeah, yeah. A couple of minutes here, we'll start seeing some
We got
reactions.
less than 25 seconds left in the regular trading day. OKLO made a nice little comeback today, although it's well off its highs. And there you go. We didn't have the ding, 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 but we'll pretend we heard that.
It's so funny. I was somewhat waiting to hear it too. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the one that's supposed to hit that button. I forgot to do it, so we'll do it. We'll do it next time.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's see
Well,
who reports first. Yeah, let's see
yeah.
where the data comes in here. See who's going to be out in any minute now. So the calm before the storm is what we're looking at the moment.
The first 5 minutes right after the market closes, when everybody's on edge.
It'll be
Flipping and then
interesting to see
resetting.
what it'll be interesting to see what kind of collateral damage or collateral activity happens. Microsoft just took a big drop there. Microsoft
is moving
heading
down.
south.
We just got to
They must have.
425.
They weren't supposed to report till 4:05, but maybe they've got their numbers out early.
Yeah, here's something I was going to mention here. Don't let yourself get distracted by these early moves. You're going to have these early moves, usually on fairly low volume, that sometimes happen on these stocks before the earnings come out. They can be very deceptive because, like Microsoft, you're going to look at it and say, "Oh, like must be bad earnings. It's definitely down." This thing could be just as far to the upside the next second. So just be careful with these. We got to wait for the earnings. You'll know. You'll see sort of the volume spike and then a little more constant activity once those earnings come out. So 405 for their top three: Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla.
Microsoft is losing all of the performance we just saw over the past 2 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know.
We are back
Mm.
at the low end of that reaction. So those candles are now in the background.
Yeah, it's a big move here, man.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Let's see. So earnings are still not out at this moment, and we're getting this move here.
Yeah,
Apparently
not
so.
yet.
There's a leaker. There's a
So
leaker
somebody's leaking
somewhere.
information that they didn't tell us. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were not part of the fan
Microsoft is
club.
hitting 420 now, which is the expected move low. It's actually a little bit further than expected because I kind of rounded up a little for that lower volatility.
Yep.
And yes, Microsoft has lost all of its pretty green candles. So there you go, Peter.
Yeah, I feel better. Thanks.
And look at that.
Again, I don't think that Microsoft is going to hold this. I think we've got more, this is the move before the move because their numbers aren't out yet, unless, let me just double check here. Let's make sure they didn't come out early.
Peter,
No,
you're
I
betting
don't see.
on a slingshot move here. Which you're
Well,
getting some right now.
I just, I don't know. It feels premature.
Yep.
Yeah, this would be an area to consider some sort of snapback type of play because we're under some lows, but there's kind of like a discount area right underneath. Remember though, Microsoft is trying to defend the open price of the year at this point. So technically,
Well, there
the
goes
low end of this
there goes
reaction
Tesla.
is the open price of the year.
Yeah.
There goes Tesla on
Tesla's
not a
also
lot
down.
of volume.
Tesla looking
Tesla's
to break,
dropping.
break down from the recent areas we've been trading. Got 2 for 2 on the bear side.
Yeah, 2-0. It's 2-0. But we still haven't hit that 405. There we go. Tesla's coming back up. Again, not huge volumes.
All right, so there it is. Tesla just reported. So Tesla is out. Let's see the reaction here.
Microsoft's out as well, so maybe those were the numbers. Looks like they beat on earnings by about 12 cents, and their sales were, we'll call them in line. Pretty well, no, actually they beat by about $800 million, so 69.6 billion versus a 68.8 billion estimate.
Yep.
Well,
So if Tesla is breaking
Meta should
the
be out
recent
too.
lows, I'm short some Tesla.
Yeah, I'm
Catching
short some
this
Tesla
breakdown.
here. Yeah, me too.
This is some good reaction here. So Tesla short for you, Jared, and Brian. So both of you guys on the Tesla short right now.
Yeah,
I'm
there's.
gonna cover mine. I'm gonna cover mine here. I think.
I'm
Hold it,
actually going
Brian,
to try
hold
and
it.
hold mine because there's no support below this until we get back to like 350. So as long as they keep moving price down, I don't see a reason to really react to anything until we get lower. So far, so good. Still dropping price here.
Yeah, not looking good there.
I just covered some 365, 366 actually.
Yeah, there's definitely some bid here for sure.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Tesla's going
These
back
early
to that
moves.
sort of reaccumulation base that was underneath this. So somewhere around
Yeah, these
350
early moves are
seems
holding
fine.
this time. This is unusual.
Yeah, you usually get, I know exactly what you're talking about, Peter. You usually get that crazy reaction, then it kind of settles down and bounces back. But we are
Nothing
picking a
this time.
direction and sticking to it right now.
Now, what I don't see is Meta hasn't done anything yet. Their numbers look to be late.
Yeah, I'm looking at Meta. There's some movement right now, but no volume.
Yeah, Meta's quiet. Just could be moving with some of the negative sentiment with Microsoft and obviously Tesla, but I don't see numbers out yet on Meta. All right, let's check out Tesla. Man, guys, you guys are in a great short on Tesla. Let's see if we can break that 365 that we're seeing here. Peter, are you in anything?
No, not I.
All right.
Not
Let's see
I.
Anderson chat as
Said
well.
the fly.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla's expected move would put it close to 350, but like I said, it tends to move in.
Yep, think we might have lost Jared, so we'll try to get him back here. Let's see, we got disconnected. But yeah, Tesla doing pretty nice right now if you're short. And Brian, you still in this? I know you're trying to get out. Hopefully you didn't take everything off because it's still showing a lot of weakness here.
Now I got out of it.
Oh, you're out of it? Okay.
I'm completely out.
You're not playing games. You're like, nope, I'm out. Take my
Yeah.
money and run.
Exactly.
Yep, I don't blame you because again, I'm with you because most of the time what we get is a rubber band type reaction, right? Like a slingshot here, and even though it might be a short, at the first reaction you get that slingshot comes back to, we're opened up and it easily starts kind of like easing off here. But we're seeing a bit of a bounce right now. Let's see what it does as it goes here. And then take a look at Microsoft. How's it going there? Microsoft.
Meta's jumping around a bit here. Still no volume on it though. Zuck's keeping us waiting here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm sure it's him personally that's doing it.
Yes.
He hasn't hit the button. He hasn't
Yeah.
sent the email.
Hit the button. Just hit the button.
All right, let's see where it goes here. All right, how about you guys over on YouTube and in our chat? You guys said anything right now? What are you guys trading today? Out of the Tesla and not Meta, Tesla and Microsoft at the moment. Another one we had too was IBM, right? We had IBM. Oh, look at IBM, Peter. This is up nice.
Yeah.
Doing well here. They're loving the report at the moment.
Oops. Get the IBM here. So IBM, yeah, IBM came out with their earnings. Looks like they pretty much met on revenue. 17.5 billion was their expected and their actual delivered results. Earnings per share, they did better than expected by about what is this? About 17 cents here. They delivered $3.92 a share versus the 3.75 estimate. So there you go.
Yeah, IBM, one of the other big companies reporting right now, and they're doing hot. Look at this move right now, up 11%, and climbing, and volume just pouring in. So that is doing very nice right now. Let's take a look at the daily, just blowing by all the resistance. Is that all-time high? I think we just made all-time highs on IBM here. So
I think it's all-time highs.
is it? Is it not? Let's look at the monthly. I feel like everything tech is all-time highs, but yeah, I think it might be, Peter. Let me see.
Maybe it could
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess they are. Look at that. All right,
Thank
I
goodness.
stand corrected.
Yeah. All right. All right. So here's a bounce that we're getting back on Tesla. So getting a small bounce right now on Tesla at the moment. Let's see if it's looking to go in the other direction. And this is where, again, earnings, you got to be so careful because these things move so fast. But right now, Tesla putting in a big bounce. Low of the after hours, 365. We're up almost $20 from that. So, man, what a move. So, Alpha, I'm just trading. I know Jared took a trade. He was on here. Brian already took a trade. He did short Tesla at the start, and he was already out by the time it was close to the low of the day. I don't trade earnings. Mainly I just kind of watch them. Tomorrow they will be on my list. So tomorrow we will have Meta, we will have Tesla. We'll be watching those
Yeah.
closely. But earnings, man, there you got to be careful. So I'm not great at trading earnings. Brian, did you get the bounce on Tesla?
Oh God, no, no, didn't see that coming.
Oh God, no.
Tesla here. Uh, nice, beautiful, beautiful bounce. All right, so Meta still nothing. Did we get something on Meta, or I see a nice drop, but no volume.
I still don't see any earnings announcement unless I missed it here.
Yep,
Yeah,
hold on.
no, don't see anything.
And our good buddy Microsoft, getting a bit of a bounce as well. Let's see where it goes from here. Yeah, guys. Yeah, over in chat, if you're watching, don't feel don't feel the pressure to take a trade. We'll be trading tomorrow. We'll be watching these, and there'll be a lot of opportunities. How do I do the monthly on Dash Trader Pro? So I don't know. I think it was defaulted into one of my FA keys. So when I hit F6, it does the monthly on it. So I just go down the F keys. X6 is the one that does it for me. And if you don't have it, you can easily set it up on Dash Trader Pro to get whatever time frame you need very quickly. So
Well, big drop and back down on Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla's definitely
Meta
making the
doesn't look
most
like it's
interesting moves.
yeah. Meta's pretty quiet. And in terms of how the markets are reacting, the Qs are pretty close to where we went out on the day, and same with the SPY. We're down maybe a little bit on both of them, but nothing to write home about.
yeah, yeah. Meta will come out at 5. No, usually Meta comes out a little sooner than that.
Now, Meta was supposed to be out at 405 at
Right,
least.
right. So
Anyway,
if Jay says Meta comes out good, Nvidia will also fly. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think they're the more and more I look at it, I think they're very different businesses. Again, Meta is all ad based. They're gonna make their money on ads. Ads are up. They're gonna crush it. And Nvidia is all about the AI stuff, right? So Nvidia right now doesn't have a great catalyst as far as what's been happening with this AI thing. We need more information, right? It's too early to tell. But I think their business models are clearly very different. I mean, just look at what Meta has been doing over the last couple of days. They don't care about this deep seek stuff. They've just been hitting all-time highs and crushing it. Meta, Microsoft, and some other ones, on the other hand, are kind of reacting in a negative way. So, not saying that if Meta is hot, Nvidia could still crush it, but I don't know if by much. We'll have to see. So,
what were the? Do we have the numbers on Tesla? I'm just curious.
let's see here. Peter had them.
Tesla. Tesla, yeah. Tesla's numbers, their sales were pretty much on, well, little over target. 25.7 is what they delivered. The estimate was about 27.3 roughly. And on earnings,
Okay.
though, they actually were slightly under their earnings, delivering 73 cents per share when the expectation was 76 cents per share. So largely in line, but slightly over on revenue, slightly under on earnings.
Hmm.
All right, looks like Meta is out because I'm seeing some movement here into the green now. So still not great.
Microsoft is kind of inching its way back up here after that sell-off down to 420.
Let's see. Why is Nvidia popping? Let's take a look here. Nvidia, maybe some AI stuff. Not sure why they'll be popping. I mean, listen, they're all going
All
to
right.
move together, so we'll see.
Well, I got to run for the evening, so have a great evening, everybody. Hopefully, if you took a trade, you did it safely. I'll let you continue the broadcast. Thanks
Yeah.
for letting me join you this afternoon.
No, thank you for joining us, Peter, man. Great to have you. All right, so yes,
Yeah.
friends, we are looking at waiting for Meta. Meta has not reported yet. It's moving around a little bit, but we're not seeing anything, no numbers yet, right? So Nvidia's moving more than Meta right now. Yes, we see it pop up.
Yeah, yeah. Because Meta's still hanging around where we went out on the day.
Tesla net income missed by 23%. Yeah, they did say their sales was not good. So some of that could have been already baked in with their recent performance. So it's all about what's coming up and what they're going to say on this call as well, right? So I'm not sure when their call is scheduled to, and I wonder if it will be funny if Elon's going to be on the call or if it's too busy in Washington D.C. doing some other stuff. So will be interesting to see that. All right, so Nvidia moving here. Tesla still hanging out, a little bit of some sideways action. Apple doesn't care about anything, just keeps going up at the moment. And Meta still somewhat flat, so not much to see there. And Starbucks, man, one of the big winners of today. Look at this Starbucks move, 110. I think 110. So it did hit 110 eventually. Just held on to that 9 and just kept going. So that was something to see on Starbucks there. Brian, how those trades doing? I see you focus, ready to jump in on something.
I'm just trying to see if there's something about Meta on social media. Just checking there to see if there's some kind of news
it's like
on
some kind of
why
delay. Yeah.
why they've delayed, and I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, usually they're pretty quick with their numbers.
Hmm.
All right, as we wait here, guys, just for another reminder, we'll be back again tomorrow for another big earnings. Is Apple. So Apple will be tomorrow. We'll be doing it here as well at 3:30, live on YouTube and in our chat as well. So that should be very interesting, man. They had a nice comeback in the last couple of days, so they've been doing well. But overall, their sales with all the China stuff has not been positive, been more on the negative side. But let's see what the numbers show coming into tomorrow's earnings. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of fun as well.
So interestingly, we're getting a real pop on Nvidia, bit of a move up here, and a little bit of volume coming in on this move as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure
Did
what is happening
did Microsoft
there,
prove that
but
these
we
guys
went
were
out.
stealing data? Did Microsoft prove that they were right on their statement earlier today, saying, "Hey, we're checking into why DeepSeek is up the way that it is, and we feel they might have done something funky." That can help Nvidia a lot if something like that comes out. So
Yeah. And Tesla's getting some buyers here.
Yeah.
Same with Microsoft. And yeah, we've moved to almost $2.50 from the close on Nvidia. SPY
Nice,
and the Qs
nice.
are pretty much back flat.
Yeah, they're man, Nvidia's moving pretty nice here. Um, Tesla's coming back too, trying to get back to where they closed, but feeling some pressure there. And Meta just went back to its previous day close. It's just probably gonna hang out here until they figure out what's going on there.
Yeah, until we get some kind of release, but there's nothing here that I can see as to why we haven't gotten the numbers yet. Wow, that was kind of a weird week on Microsoft.
Let's take a look. Microsoft. Oh, are they giving? When is their call? I wonder when they start giving some more details on their direction. I mean, it looks like they missed on a couple of things here. Cloud being a big business of theirs, so they missed on that. But it's all about what's the future guidance. That's going to be pretty interesting here. All right, we'll give it 7 more minutes. If we don't come out, then we'll definitely catch on to it tomorrow. But
Yeah.
we'll see if by 7 minutes, by top of the half hour here, we'll
Well,
see what's going on our
the
good buddy
Qs
Meta.
the Qs finished a little bit down on the day, but now we're right back to Tuesday's close here. So again, it's when you look at this chart for the entire day, really choppy. Um, just kind of buyers coming in on the sell-offs and sellers coming in on the move ups. So it's nothing really not a clean day. And wow, you can see Tesla moving up through. Looks like Tesla's going to go back to flat after this big move down.
Yeah, yeah. Look at Tesla,
Wow,
man. It's nice,
Tesla
nice
is
comeback here.
officially Tesla officially is flat on the session, and now it's might even be breaking out here. This is
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
crazy.
Alpha, that's funny. No, my friend, we it's not by mic time that that we get compensated. No way, man. We love this stuff. I'm telling you, we love this stuff. We love talking shop. So to us, it's not a job, man. It really is not. We love it. Um, Starts with our onboarding class every Monday night. We're supposed to go for an hour. We go for an hour and a half with all the questions, and I gotta shut myself down before I drive people into
Yeah.
midnight talking about stocks. And you guys are, unfortunately, you're screwed. You're stuck with us because I'm not talking shop with my wife, and I'm not talking shop with my friends because they don't care about stocks. So you guys are it. I'm talking stocks with you guys. so so we
Wow.
could enjoy this together.
Tesla is
It's
going
going
back
green.
to, yeah,
It's gonna go
it's going
green,
to
man.
be green on yeah, it could go green here. There is
Wow,
an order at 400 on Bookmap. Um, I suspect that it's gonna stall here,
man,
but
what?
this thing has gone crazy.
This is wild.
Tesla never disappoints
Yeah,
one way
yeah.
or another.
There it is. Andrew's
And
long
it's gone,
Tesla. So Andrews just went
yeah,
long
it's gone
Tesla.
green here.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see right on
yeah, it's
here.
gone green here.
He's in our chat. Long Tesla. I'm long at 396. My
Nice.
goodness. Let's go. Let's go. great move here.
Man, boy, does this sure wish I had flipped my position.
Yeah, it's funny because you took this short, right? You took this short somewhere
Yeah,
384-ish, I believe.
370.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. All the way down to the low
yeah,
of the day. So
yeah,
nice.
376.
Yeah, yeah. And if it holds the previous day close here, it can be a lot of fun.
It's
We'll have all the breakdowns too. Like I'm seeing some of the headlines
yeah,
here. Oh
we could be
man.
heading to 420.
Oh boy, look at that
Tesla's the only stock I
403.
know that could. Tesla's the only stock that I know of that can disappoint on revenue
Yeah.
and earnings and pop.
Well, and that's the new trend. You saw Boeing too. Boeing did the same thing. It had like the worst
Yeah,
year ever. Like they're second in history as far as performance and loss, and it's just crushed. So people are being very optimistic and probably seeing it. Hey, this is where we turned the corner and we head the other way. But man, look at Tesla. All right, so Andrew selling more at 406. Um, and it's not done, man. I don't think it's done. This thing is going.
Meta Meta's inching its way up here. I don't think it's released yet, but
Yeah.
we may as well wait till 4:30, and if there is nothing out then
Yeah, we'll stick around. Yeah, see if anything comes out here. But it's weird when if it gets delayed like this, it could come out at 5. It could be even later. If they have some
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
issues, right? So, but yeah, Meta let us down today as far as coming out right away.
that's
Microsoft,
okay. We got
yeah,
Microsoft. We got enough excitement with Microsoft and Tesla here.
Tesla for sure. Look at this thing, just wild.
Finally
Um,
getting a bit of a pullback after this massive run on Tesla.
mhm. All right, so Andrew Soso more as 407, and he was in what 396. So very nice move. All right, awaiting Meta results right now, seeing if they come out. If not, we will catch them in the morning, and then I'm gonna go back and listen to all this stuff and what's driving these tickers to go up like this. This is awesome, and the best thing is I'm hoping that now some of the craziness and the uncertainty out of the stock market we've seen over the last couple of days, with these three major stocks out of the way, Apple out of the way tomorrow, hopefully we can get back to some real good trading again. Because I remember last week and the week before that, we were doing great as far as intraday action. And then this week, things kind of started getting really choppy. Brian, I don't know if you noticed any of that, but want to get back to those
Uh,
good trading days that we had the week before.
well, there's 4:30, and we still haven't got any numbers. So
Yeah, yeah, we'll call it here, friends. Guys, over on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And again, this was a lot of fun. Meta, let's take one last look at it. It is not out. It's pretty quiet, just hanging out slightly above the previous day close. We'll get it tonight at some point, and we will definitely be talking about it tomorrow morning in our pre-market show at 8:30. If you're not a member, you can go to bearwithtrust.com right now. You can sign up for a great deal, and you can watch Jared at 8 a.m. in the morning. If you're an early bird, it is perfect. He goes through a lot of great information. You can start your day early, and then we come on at 8:30, and we'll take you through the preparation right here on YouTube, and then live training with Andrew. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys. Brian, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks, Jared and Peter, who
yeah,
are gone by now, but really appreciate you guys hopping on here. So, guys, take care. Have a great evening. We'll see you guys in the morning.
have a good one, everybody. I hope you had a good day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Cheers, Carlos.
Cheers, brother.